I feel like a lot of people misinterpreted my video yesterday that I made about AEW. When I say that it is absolutely abysmal that AEW is getting the low numbers that it is, I mean that it's abysmal. And when I say that, I'm not saying it like a WWE stan that's absolutely jumping up and down that AEW is not doing as well as they should be. I'm saying it's atrocious. I'm saying it's abysmal because I want AEW to succeed. I'm saying it because when AEW was formed, everyone was happy. Everyone had the alternative that they needed. When Vince McMahon proved he was out of touch, Tony Khan was a bright, young wrestling fan, lifelong wrestling fan apparently, that was going to shake up the wrestling world and was going to bring a mix of ex WWE and homegrown talent, and we're going to throw them together in this big billion-dollar company. But somewhere along the way, AEW is failing. And it is sad. It's sad to see. And I feel like we need to stop pretending that everything is okay. The more we make excuses for AEW, the more we keep telling Tony Khan that this is okay, that this shit is okay, the more that we keep basically sucking him off and telling him everything is okay, the more and more AEW is going to decline. The more and more people are going to leave. I mean, Dynamite, AEW's A show, AEW's equivalent to Monday Night Raw, the only show in AEW that's produced weekly that means something, draws Collision level numbers. Collision is filler garbage. Garbage. I don't want to come home from work on a Saturday and watch Collision. I don't want to stay up until 11 at night on a Friday to watch Rampage. Rampage are nothing but jobber matches. Collision is nothing but filler garbage. Sure, tonight we had Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage, but who cares? Who cares? And it's I find it funny that a couple weeks ago Tony Khan was like, I'd love to have Ricky Starks get more TV time, but yet we're giving people like Joey Floyd or whatever his name is TV time. We're giving CMLL TV time. You're 2 weeks away from your big crossover event, Forbidden Door, that's bringing AEW, CMLL, and New Japan Pro Wrestling together. And this is what we get. We're 2 months away from the second edition to Forbidden Door. I mean, all in. All in. Wembley Stadium. This is what we get. No big storylines whatsoever. Besides Ospreay and Swerve, because the Young Bucks are fucking around with the Acclaimed. I don't know what got into Tony Khan. I don't know if he was smoking some bad shit. I don't know if the Punk shit rattled him too much. I don't think maybe it was Dave Meltzer getting into Tony Khan's ear. But something changed. And it's not doing very good for Tony Khan. And a lot of people want to make all these excuses. A lot of people want to plant the WWE bad flag. Maybe it was because WWE got better. Or maybe it's just because AEW got worse. There are multiple talents that are not being showcased anymore. And we're getting more jobbers on screen. We're giving people unnecessary pushes. We're getting people debuting one week and then the next week they're doing jack. We're getting people getting sidelined by CMLL guys so that way people who have no job, people who have no life, can sit there and be like, oh my god, I can't wait. So that way Dave Meltzer can give it 5 stars just because it's Will Ospreay versus literally anybody. What happened? What happened? AEW was the fucking bomb in 2019. Millions and millions of views. The best talents in the world wanting to go to AEW. People not renewing their WWE contracts to go to AEW and get more opportunities. Guys like Miro. Guys like Malachi Black. Guys like Buddy Matthews. Guys like fucking Edge. Christian Cage. And out of all those people that I named, the only one getting prominently featured is Christian Cage. Sure, we got Bryan Danielson, but he's going to retire this year. What are we doing? What are we doing? I saw a video very recently where it's like AEW should hire Scott D'Amore. Fuck this Shane McMahon shit that everybody wants. Hire Scott D'Amore. TNA did the stupid thing by letting him go. Hire Scott D'Amore. But Tony won't. His ego won't allow him. Tony thinks he knows everything about wrestling. He doesn't. He doesn't. He's a billionaire's son who has a lot of money. So he can hire people like Okada, Mercedes, Adam Copeland, Ospreay. But what would it matter when you're booking them terribly? You reintroduced a ranking system, but you made Mercedes Moné the TBS champion after her first match. And now you're going to make her the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion against Stephanie Bacour. Why? I don't know. AEW by now should have been equivalent to the WWE. By now, AEW should be neck and neck. At the rate AEW was going in 2019, it should have been fire. But AEW is in the hands of one guy. One. And that's Tony Khan. AEW needs a writing team. Bring in a bunch of veterans. You have people like Chris Hero, Christopher Daniels. You have Jerry Lynn. Bring in RVD as well if you want to. Bring in all of these people. Bring in people that know what you're doing. Not fucking just you. Don't book for people like Dave Meltzer. Don't book for people like the Twitter marks. Because you're going to lose the eyes of all your casual fans. Sure, you have a lot of cocksuckers over on Twitter. You have a lot of people who really want to plant the AEW flag, people that are sick of the WWE. And you're entitled to your opinion. If you like AEW, I'm not trying to say don't like AEW. But the more that people just sit there and say, this is okay, is the more that AEW is going to go in the shitter. And this is coming from a guy who wants to see AEW succeed. This is coming from a guy who likes some of the matches that they produce. But this time of year specifically, when they do these stupid cross-promotion events, nobody knows who they are. WWE, they pay attention to the social media numbers. They know that a lot of people give a fuck about Joe Hendry. They know people really liked when Jordan Grace came back at the Royal Rumble. So they put them in there. Nobody knows who this Hichero is that you're having MJF, the face of your company, feud with. Who? Blackpool Combat Club having an 8-man tag a few weeks ago against 4 CMLL guys that only 1% of the audience would know. Like what? In order for us to enjoy programming, we basically have to say fuck you to our jobs and go and watch every single CMLL show, MLW, GCW, fucking ICW, DPW, God knows how many promotions under the sun. You book for the sickos, but maybe it's time you sit there and you really pay attention to the casual wrestling audience, because now nobody gives a fuck about your shows, because all your weekly shows are just filler garbage. The only thing really worth watching is Dynamite. But even then, despite having a very decent Dynamite, where you had Will Ospreay and MJF face off, face to face, teasing a potential future match, people didn't care. People did not care. Why? I don't know. AEW also needs to book smaller venues. Smaller venues. Because these stadiums and all that shit that fits like 20,000 people and not even 2,000 show up. Book smaller venues. Showcase your talent more. Yours. Not fucking people from Osaka, Japan. Yours. Ricky Starks. Powerhouse Hobbs. Miro. Where's Britt Baker? Where's your girl? The fucking person you built up. Nowhere. And you wonder why people complain on social media. You wonder why Britt Baker complained last year. You wonder why Saraya complains from time to time. You wonder why the Hardy Boys complain so goddamn much. You don't know how to book your talent unless their names are the Young Bucks and fucking Mercedes Moné. You need to change your act. You need to book better matches. You need a writing team. You need to get Dave Meltzer's dick out of your mouth. Because the more that you sit there and you think everything is okay, and you don't even acknowledge that there's a problem going on in your company, the more people are going to turn on you. And I'm rambling on and I'm sorry, but AEW needs to sit there and realize they have a problem and they need to fix it. And I've said this multiple times, and I'm just fucking being a broken record going round and round. The biggest problem is Tony Khan thinking he knows everything. He can book everything. No, you can't. Put the fucking pen down. Take some time off or leave altogether. Every single press conference, it's him. Every single media interview, it's him. Every single headline relating to AEW, it's him. You are not the star of the show. Your wrestlers are. The people going out there and entertaining your fans, those are the stars of the show. You are the guy with the pen. You are not the main character. Fucking Christ. And this is tough love, man. I like AEW. Despite what all these fucking AEW geeks want to think. Despite what people on Twitter want to think. Despite people that are going to comment on this video and make fun of my looks, make fun of the size of my channel, make fun of the views I get, make fun of everything that I do, or take a tweet that I probably made a couple of months ago to years ago out of context, Or maybe look at an old video of mine being like, this you, I like AEW. But this shit is not okay. And Tony Khan needs to go. Hire literally anybody else. Scott D'Amore. Pick up the phone. Because Tony Khan needs to go. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to shut up now. It's like 11:30 at night. I need to go to fuck to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, which I don't think a lot of people will, leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to turn post notifications on. And until next time, this has been your boy, Willie Does Wrestling. I'll see y'all in the next video. Be good people, and peace. AEW needs to improve, man. AEW needs to improve. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.